Hi guys, today I would like to explain to you all about lash extensions today. So today I will explain to you three different kinds of lash extensions. The first kind will be a strip lash, the second kind will be cluster lash, and the third kind will be individual lashes. And this is for the DIY version. So the individual for DIY is totally different from the professional one that you normally will get at the salon. So normally this one is the one that is doable for everybody to do, not the individual one. There are two at the salon, they are too tedious, too fine for you to put in your own lashes. It's very difficult for you to see. So for the best way for the beginners, you want to start with strip lash. And the type of glue that I show you, it's a very gentle type of glue, and they will last about, strip lash for me, my application, it lasts me about 4 to 7 days, depending on how the band is thinner or the thicker type. The thinner type will last longer than the thicker type. So I will show you the difference between the thin band and the thick band, so, and how to modify them. Anyway, so the beginners, you can starting out using the strip lash and how to apply them. So the second one is a little bit harder for people to use, is cluster. So but the cluster is should be lasting you from 3 days to about 8 days or 9 days to 10 days, depends on how good you apply it. But most foundation part is making sure you wipe your eyes, making sure all the oil from your eyes and any makeup or lotion should remove and clean before you start. That way it can stay on longer. So the cluster is the type that lasts you the second longest. So for me, the professional salon, I usually putting on my clients, they should last about 5 days to 3 weeks, depending on how good they're taking care of it. It makes a huge difference. And I use different type of glue for professional settings than this type, because this glue is designed for immature, for people that are used every day, and they're not for the least damage that you can, the least damage compared to the other type of glue that I will use, because if you don't know what you're doing, you do not want to use a strong type of glue, because you do not want to damage your own lashes. So the third type is individual, and the individual is the one that lasts the longest, that looks the most natural, but it's harder to do because sometimes it's hard to see. But the type that I show you is going to be the biggest. They are much thicker than the one that you will see at the salon, or you will get done at the salon professionally for individual. This individual is about 3 to 4 times thicker than the individual that the salon would use. So that's a difference, and it's the hardest of all to apply, but it looks the most natural of all. But even again, it's about lash selection too as well. So you can use the supernatural one, then you do, most people would not recognize or didn't even know I have lashes on if I use the very natural ones. So it's all depending on what kind of lash that you use. Beginners, you want to start with strip, and until you getting better, then you can start progressively moving towards the cluster and the individual. And the third thing is, people wonder is like, are they going to damage my lashes? So the strip lash is the least damage of all. So if you want to apply the strip lashes, what you can do is apply to the line of your eyes, closer to the lash line, and then leave, and instead of right to the lash line, is close to it. It's literally right on it, but not on it. That way it stays on better, and it hides better. And also the glue is not too strong. So it's really easy to remove. All you need to do to remove it is putting some oil on it and then rub it on it and let it sit on there for about a few minutes. And then you can start to pulling out from the corners, but saturate with oil, saturate it well and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and then just take it out. It's super easy. Sometimes you don't need 5 to 10 minutes. So that's the easiest and the least damage. Cluster, I would say cluster is the most damage if you compare with the other type of lashes. So with the cluster, you might want to be patient and remove the correct way. So I have how to remove your lash extensions towards the end of this video. You should have the video that explain how to remove it correctly, so that way you don't pull out your own lashes. Also, the type of glue, again, this type of glue is much easier and much gentle to use and to remove, so you wouldn't have problem with removing it. So keep watching and you will get all the tips that you can get from me, and I hope that you can develop the best way to making yourself beautiful and effortless as possible. So again, this is the gateway to the most addictive habits that you're gonna have. It is lash extensions, because they really can make a huge difference in how you look without makeup. So I will see you soon later in the video. So this is the type that I use for the one piece strip lash, but I'm going to show you how to cut this, because the line in there is very thick and I don't like the thickness in there. And if it's thin, it will stay on way better than the thick ones like that. I mean, is the adhesive piece at the end of the lash line. So as you see, I'm going to compare it to you. This one. As you see, this one, you see how thin it is on the lash line? That one stays on way better. But this one, see how thick the lines are? The glue piece is very thick. So I'm going to have to cut it in half at least. So it will stay on way better for me, and it looks more natural. But since I'm going to concert today, so I'm going to use this one, and these are more natural. This one is like everyday thing. They look a little bit different. Yeah, it's slightly different. This one is a little longer, but it's also natural on the natural side. And this one is a little bit more on like the party. They're a little bit more stand out. So I'm going to use this one for today. And sometimes I'm going to show you how to use the individual ones. This is the individual for you to DIY version that you can apply yourself. But the individual for professional is very difficult to do it by yourself. This one is more thicker. And also like this version is also easier to apply for yourself. So I'm going to show you this version, the cluster version, the individual one. The Ardell has the version like that, and it has like there's a short version there, and there's a long 3 different length. But the short one is for the corners, for the corner of the eye, and the long ones is for accents. But I'm going to show you how it works later, but we'll go with the strip lash for today. What you need for the strip lash is, I actually going to use the liner today, so I'm going to use Lash Glue liner right there. You can use as eyeliner, and you can use as lash glue too. So
they can help you to stay on way better. It won't fall out in the middle of your party or something. And this is the adhesive for it. And it's clear. You can use as liner. You line it first, and then you can use it to put the glue right on the line right there. So lash it, line it, but it's clear. So I'm gonna do this one first, the liner. This is glue liner, black, and then I'll use this for the lash extensions version.
Okay, I'm going to show you the difference. This is the type that has a stronger, thicker band right there. And I don't like it as much because it shows more. So if you want to use this type, you might want to cut it back, the band, into half. This black band right there. So it will be less showy. I mean, it's just less noticeable. So this is the same thing. But there is the invisible version of the band. I like that better. It's more natural. But if you want to use this, you might want to use eyeliner to kind of like blend them in and stuff like that. Or you can also, what I'll do is, if you want side instead of the other side, I want to cut first, right? Then I'm going to use this to measure the other side. So this is the corner, the eye. This is the end of the eye. So I'm going to use this to measure the other guy. I have a smaller eye, so I don't need. Okay.
Okay, from showing you the one that has a thicker band and you have to cut it, it's more work for you. However, if you can't find things that you really like or the design that you like and you have to stick with the thicker band, then go ahead and use it. But I usually like the one that is invisible, like this one. The band is super thin. You do not have to cut it. You don't have to prep. All you need to do is just measure how long your eyes versus this type, and then you just cut it according to the length of your eyes. However, you do not need to cut the band. This will cut down the time, and also it stays on longer than the one with the thicker band, because with the thicker band sometimes it just doesn't form into your eyes as much as the one without the band. It will be more flexible and it tends to stay on longer. So you can try both and see which one you like better, but I normally like the one that has invisible band like this.
with invisible band, I can tuck it in into your lash line here, the corners, to making sure okay?
So on this one, I'm going to show you that the corners, the shorter corners are supposed to be on the corner of your eyes. And then I use the Lash It and Line It. Basically, that's a glue that you can apply on the liner first. And then you also apply the glue to the strip of the lash. So you apply on your eyeliner first, and then you apply on the strip lash. That way you have double secured your own lashes. Normally, this type of lashes are lasting me around, I would say 3 to 5 days, which is not bad for a strip lash. And it took me literally like less than 5 minutes to put them in. And I'm just showing you how to brush it. You literally brush the strip, the inner of the strip lashes, and also the corners end of the lashes. Actually, it helps to secure your lash, this fake lash, to your own lash, so that way it stays on much longer. The closer that you apply your strip lash to your lash line, the better it is for them to stay. So let me repeat again. If you can able to put the strip lash right on to your lash line, your lash will stay on much longer than you putting on just on the skin. So that's your magic spot. It will last longer, it will stay on longer, and it won't come off as much, or the corner won't come off if you putting right on to your lash line. Towards the end, I use a clamping tools to keep the lash and my own lash, the strip lash and my own lash kind of stick together better. So that way it helps to keep the strip lash in place. Before we get into the cluster lash, I want you to understand the different types of base on the cluster lash. For example, this one you see the pointy base. That means when it grows out, you won't able to see as much on the base. This type, when it grows out, it doesn't show as much because it's smaller base on the bottom, so it doesn't show as much as the one that I'm about to show you next. It's gonna show a lot more once your lash is growing out, and that's why I don't like that type. The second type is also a cluster lash extensions, and it's very easy to put in because it's pretty much bigger, and you put less in your eyes. It's less effort. However, when it grows out, you literally can see a big chunk at the base of your lashes, and it shows a lot more than the first version that I just showed you. So just remember, the bigger the base, the more it shows. So if you want less showing, you want to use the small and thin base. When you pull the cluster out, you dip the base into the glue, then you brushing some of the glue onto your own lashes before you place the cluster on the lash. On this cluster lash extensions, I'm using the one that has an accent, and I use two different types of glue, one in each eye and the other one on the other eye, so I can know which glue that I like better and how long that it lasts me. And so far I do like dual for my cluster, that because it doesn't burn my eyes. So a lot of things that I use, especially doing it for myself, I usually use the strip lash type of glue instead of the type of glue that are for individual lashes that professionally use, because that type of glue is burning your eyes really bad, and you cannot use it with your eyes open. So I prefer I use the strip lashes type of glue because it's mild and it doesn't burn my eyes. And also it's waterproof, so it's not that bad at all. It should last me probably around 7 to 10 days with the cluster type of lash. The glue looks like it's coming out white, but it's actually invisible when it dries out. So there is different types of glue too. It can come with a black glue, but this one I choose to do just the invisible. So it just it once it dry out, it will look like clear, so it's not as noticeable. Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to apply individual lashes. So you'll see what kind of how it looks like. So this is more likely a thicker version than the regular one that professional would use for their client, which I also do. And the individual like this is not the same. They are much thicker. They're double to triple the thickness of the regular individual that is used at the salon. But it's very easy for you to use this on yourself. If you decided to want to try this, definitely this is the type that you should use because this thicker, easier to apply. You only need about 10 to 15, 10 to, like 15 of each of these, 10 to 15, and about like 3 to 5, I mean 5 of these in there will be perfect. You don't need much at all for each eye. And this is the glue I'll be using. I tried a dual, it's really good actually. It lasts. I tried it on the different types of glue. I tried this type for a strip lash, and it lasted about 4 days to a week with this. And this one is also is not bad at all. It's just super hold adhesive. And I tried this too, and I also like it as well. They are waterproof, both of them. And I'm going to give it a try with the individual one and see how long it lasts. The strip lash lasts me about 4 to 7 days. So I'm gonna, today I'm gonna try the NV one and then see how it works on me, and I will tell you how much I like it with the individual. But and you're gonna need is a sharp, tiny, pointy tools like this, and pretty much that's it. The glue, the lashes, and I'm gonna show you how to apply it. This is a individual lashes, so normally I do the liner, a very thin liner, just to accent the eyes, but I don't like using too much of liner or using too much makeup. So when I do eyelashes on a regular basis, it just helped to for me to waking up and not worry about putting any makeup or anything on. It just make me feel like I already have makeup on just with eyelash extensions. So I do this on a regular basis. I switch in between this and that. Sometimes I do individual, and sometimes I do cluster, and sometimes I do strip lashes. Or sometimes I just give my eyelash some breaks. Actually, strip lash is actually giving my skin some breaks, and I don't have to worry about I do not have to worry about like my lashes falling out or anything like that. Sometimes I just since it's glued to my near my eyeliner, but not and on my skin, so it's not going to bother my lashes as much. So that will actually giving my lash some break. So I just switch here and there. The cluster lash more likely is the one that compared to this 3 types, the cluster is the one that more likely that you're going to lose more lashes than individual or the strip lashes. Hey, shh, pics.
Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to removing lash extensions the safest way as possible so you don't rip off your own lashes. So this is what I will do. I'm just going to use, this is just my lotion. Just use regular lotion is fine. I'm going to use a tiny bit of lotion and I'm going to put them on just a plastic sheet or something like that. I'm going to pump it out. Little piece like this, right? And then I'm using a nail polish, acetone nail polish remover, and I'm gonna just dip the brush in there just a little bit and then mix them with this so I don't pour too much inside of it. I'm just gonna dip it wet and then I'm gonna mix it with this, with the little lotion. That's all I need. And then, and it stays creamy, like this consistent creamy is easier to apply. So we're gonna remove the lash on there. So I'm gonna use the end of this tip. I'm going to brush a little bit into the end of this. And then I'm gonna use some of them on the top. Brush them in. Some on the bottom and some on the top. Brush them in here. It's been like about 10 days. This is a cluster lash and it lasts me about 10 days. So I need it removed so I can put a different types of lash on. So what you need to do is you're gonna let it sit in your eyes like this for about, on your eyes, for about 5 to 10 minutes while you're watching TV or something like that. And then you can work it in and get it out. So you do not have to try to pull your lashes and damage your own lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes and I'll come back and show you how to remove it.
When you're removing it, you can use something for your bottom, uh, as a base, and then you can use the Q-tips or anything that is small, and then just trying to work it out, and it will gradually coming off. It's super easy to come out. So just kind of lightly rub it, it will come out. Do not try to pull. If some of them doesn't coming out, dip them into again a piece of cotton or a brush into a nail polish remover and mix with lotion. You can able to take it out really easy.